All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Lots to get into today. Nuclear stocks going absolutely nuclear. Rumble getting ready to rumble. We've got Bitcoin on a tear. It is Bitcoin Monday. So I've got the Bitcoin shirt on in celebration of Bitcoin Mondays. And it's sunny out today for the first time in like a week. So, hence the title of the video. All right. With that, let's dive into it. Bunch of stuff going on. So let's go over all the trades that were placed. We can knock that out of the way and get to more fun stuff here. So XLU, our old friend XLU. Bad close, not looking that good. I will give this some wiggle room around 80, below 80 a little bit. If this thing starts rolling over, then get it out of there. Shoot, it looks okay. It looks kind of worse now at the end of the day here. But anyways, XLU, those are September 19 is the expiration. $83 strike price. Paid $209. Those are currently sort of flat, maybe down a little bit. And so, plenty of time for these to work out. We have sort of a starter position in this. I do like to scale into trades, although I think I may be switching that up here. But I will do a video talking about my rationale behind that. So anyways, XLU, all we need is a small move in an ETF like XLU for the price of options contracts to go up substantially. Why is that? Well, because the options market doesn't price in volatility, lots of volatility in XLU. So when you do get a move, you can still get fantastic returns in XLU, an ETF, right? So we only need $1, $2 and of movement, and for these calls to really start rocking and rolling. So it's also kind of nice to have exposure to some boring sectors as well. Like I said, this close pretty bad. You want to see, again, this is never a good sign, like a pullback, some sort of strength or whatever, and just no follow through on the strength at all. Fairly good risk to reward here, so it meets all the criteria for the most part, but as of now, kind of looks like crap, but we'll see. Soundhound. So, on the video on Friday, we're talking about how money's moving farther out on the risk curve. And that was corroborated today with small caps yet again performing really well. You have things like regional banks, making moves, right? So things are moving farther out on the risk curve. So you're going to go out towards things like Soundhound. And again, fantastic risk to reward, decent setup. Anything that sort of rolls over and closes down from here, I would just get out of this. So anyways, Soundhound, September 19th. Again, so plenty of time on these calls. $12 strike price. So definitely out of the money. Paid $134. Those are currently $130. So whatever. Let's see how things close today. So this morning, as this was like really dumping, I was buying calls in here, and that's the way to do it with calls. You really want to buy calls into weakness. So the way that I do it is when a stock meets my criteria to go after it, on any sort of intraday selling, I will be buying calls. And when it's close to my price target to sell and get out, I will get out prior to the price target as the price is rising. So I mean that just helps. The price of the options contracts. So that's how I do it. Now, okay, SoundHound looks good so far, so good. Let's see this on weekly. This looks great on a weekly chart. Let's see this on a monthly chart. Looks less than great on a monthly chart. So, all right, we went over all the reasoning behind this one. We're going to move on. So now we're going to get ready to rumble. Now, this one was another one from Friday's video where I said I'm going after this one on Monday. So we'll go over how did this look on Friday. Looked like this on Friday, and I didn't catch this until I was making that video on Friday. This is a fantastic setup to go after. This is a classic VCP pattern made famous by Mark Minervini. Well, they coined that phrase, I believe, but it's not like a sort of new strategy, that's for sure. It's just some sort of run up and pull back and things going kind of dormant, and then you go after it. I mean, that's a fantastic way to trade, but anyways, so VCP. So same thing this morning. We're going after these as this sucker's selling off, and I messed up with the contracts that I bought. I was sort of in the zone of buying SoundHound, and I say 99% of the time I don't trade first thing in the morning, and this is another reason why. I kind of, SoundHound, I'm buying $12 calls, switch over to Rumble, start buying $12 calls out of Rumble again, and I'm thinking, how the heck are these so cheap? And I was like, whatever, now I know why they're so cheap. They're unbelievably out of the money, but we're gonna let them rumble. And those are October 17 is the expiration, so 130 days to expiration, $12 strike price, so that is quite ridiculous. And like I said, a total mistake, but we'll let them rumble. 80 cents, those are currently 90. So sweet, fantastic. Yeah, and as those were moving so much, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? There's 130 days to expiration. How are these contracts, moving so much? And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's up here. They're so far out of the money. That's how they're moving so much. But I'll probably buy some other calls as well. Because it's totally not my strategy at all. It's totally not my style. I don't go for ridiculous call options like that. But shoot, these could certainly work out. If this thing really starts moving out, those will be, the profit potential on these calls is going to be ridiculous. Look at this on the weekly chart. I mean, yeah, like I was saying on Friday, trying to figure out, is there a reason not to go after this? There's not a reason to not go after it. Weekly chart, wowzers. Monthly chart, it's all right, high octane stock, money's moving farther out on the risk curve, and these are working good, so whatever. Okay, now Bitcoin Mondays is a new holiday, and so we're going to go over and celebrate Bitcoin Mondays. Bitcoin's rocking and rolling. I bit August 15 as the expiration, $61 strike price. Paid $485 for those. Those are currently $550. So these are working out fantastically. Wow, is Bitcoin up again after hours? Wowzers. Although Bitcoin doesn't have an after hours, but the futures market does. So Bitcoin futures is up after hours. And really interesting. So we got long here off the 21-day moving average. We added to this here. And then, in the videos I was saying, this is never good. Just like we're talking about, what was I talking about? XLU. Where a pullback off of a level where you want to see it bounce off of, it bounces off of it, and the strength gets sold into. So then, boom, rolling over. Then this day, I made that video saying this is terrible. This is probably going to 97. And if it goes, to 97 and crosses back above 100, I would be, that would be bullish. I would add to that position. Well, look what happens next day. Up here, again, sort of a strange area. And then today, bam, huge day. So it's 2 great days in a row for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin Mondays, that's why it's a holiday. And that's why we celebrate that holiday as well. Now, this from rolling over, where I was like, shoot, I don't know, to now rocking. That's why it's so important to not anticipate patterns. Patterns, they morph and change all the time. Like Peter Brandt says, one of the all-time great technical analysts, where this looks like it could happen, but it looks like it could be this pattern, looks like it could be head and shoulder, blah 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 blah, but patterns morph and change all the time. So as we see here, this looked like it was giving up. Terrible weekly close. This was down here at one point, so totally looking like it was rolling over. And then Friday was up, and then today, was up. So now, on a weekly chart, I would say that this looks good now. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, on the monthly chart from here, I mean, that's super bullish. So yeah, we're celebrating Bitcoin Monday. Now, let's go over my other position that is a terrible loser. And this thing better hurry up. I don't know what the heck is up with this massive volume, but we are getting smoked in this position. Absolutely smoked. July 18 is the expiration, $90 strike price. So we are far out of the way at this point when these were in the money when I bought these. Now very far out of the money, and that is no good. We're down to 40 days to expiration, 38, something like that. So it's, for my style, this is in panic mode. This is where you get towards where I get to sort of like the end of where I hold calls. Now, nowadays, people consider 10 days or 20 days to expiration like a lot of time to expiration. And that's just wild. That is something that is relatively brand new. Because time decay starts getting noticeable like 60 days out, and then 30 days out it really is ramping up, and once you're getting into the weeks, it is exponential time decay. So, anyways, that's why, so when I start getting around the 30-day mark, it's like, whoa, you better do something. So now, with that being said, there's plenty of times where if I would have held them, a little bit longer, they would have worked out, totally fine, right? But capital preservation is rule number one. So those are July 18, $90 strike price. Like I said, $3.77. Those are currently $1.60. So yikes. This was a drag on the portfolio today. And, at one point this was looking fairly strong, like in here, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, phew. Started getting all around this area. Good volume, starts coming out. And then I guess, wow, yeah, the close, ugh, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Come on, chop. Weekly chart looks like, I don't know. I mean, my strategy still remains the same with this. I want to give this lots of time to work. I mean, we're getting to sort of extreme levels for an ETF that just hit all-time highs. A totally normal pullback. Something that is awesome. A great setup that works a lot of, the majority of the time. But come on, let's go. So there's it for the positions. Oh, well, longer term positions, GTX, this is sort of looking like it's making a bottom and can move back out. So that would be cool. Shoot, I think this looks okay. Just whatever. Turnaround play, that's kind of always like whatever. Waste management, wow, super duper weakness down to 230, but was bought, and don't really care. Yeah, I don't care. I think my thesis for this is sort of changing, and I might not have thought this all the way through, but if I get out of this position, I will let you guys know my thinking on this. So that's everything that I'm in. Let's go over indexes. And we'll start with S&P 500, completely muted today. Oh, well, you know what? That's kind of confusing. SPY. Yeah, was that? Kind of positive on the day. My opinion on everything remains the same, where I'm not going to start any new position in here. So I'm totally neutral on the index / bullish, but again, it's not like I have any money in the S&P 500, so my opinion is meaningless. I have nothing in the arena. So, okay, Russell, look at this. Boom, Russell's rocking and rolling. It's the same theme of money's moving farther out on the risk curve like we've been talking about. So that is a good thing if you want to put into the bullish camp for equities. Let's look at mid caps while we're at it. And so again, look at this bull flag, broken out of the bull flag. It's still below the 200-day moving average, but huge, massive run up. A super bullish move in here in a box pattern that breaks out. So you get boom, one bullish move, boom, two bullish moves. Consolidating for 4 days, breaks out. Another bull flag breaks out. Could this fail? Yeah, of course, right? It's not 100% probabilities. If it was, that would be awesome. But no, that actually wouldn't be awesome. But anyways, it's just that this is bullish. That's bullish. It could completely roll over, like I say all the time. Anything can and does happen in financial markets. All you can do is say, okay, there's a higher probability that over a given period of time, this is going to continue out because of all these bullish moves that have been happening. And however, I mean, look at kind of this area that it's at. So, I mean, this could totally roll over, and that would be a no good thing. But look at this. Look at this weekly, candle. So, again, it's at suspect levels where this could stall or roll over or whatever. But regardless, last week was bullish. There's no other argument you can say that last week was bullish for mid caps. And look at this on a monthly chart. I mean, yeah, so this is super bullish. Okay. Let's go over my favorite index, which is Dow Jones. And, oh man, it's awesome to see Dow back above the 200-day moving average. And yeah, cool. Oh my gosh, it's 5:08. We got to get out of here. We got stuff going on. Hockey's on. Yeah, I mean, this looks good. There's nothing to complain about in here, Again, I mean, I've been saying this for 2 weeks now, is these levels that it's at, you don't want to see things start rolling over. But there is wiggle room for a pullback. It just depends on how heavy of a pullback with how heavy of selling there is before I would flip bearish. But right now, there's absolutely zero reason, to be bearish other than what my opinion is, And you learn, like I'm saying on Friday, you learn that your opinion is meaningless and markets. So I don't trade based on opinions. Okay, now let's go over to nuclear stocks here. And nice nuclear ETF. I don't know if this is the best nuclear ETF or not, but this is one I always remember because it's nukes. It's pretty easy to remember. So anyways, makes new all-time highs. Look at this. CCJ, we were just talking about CCJ on Friday, where, again, things going into the bullish camp. Where massive rebound. This is how it looked on Friday. Remember, on Friday, I said, look at this. It's almost at all-time highs. It's flagging again, looking like it wants to come out. Flagging. Boom. Drew this line. I was like, are you kidding me? This thing looks like it wants to come out yet again. And bam! It's up massive today. So now let's go through some nuclear stocks here. I mean, look at this. These are insane. Whoa. Are you kidding me? Here's something else to go after. That's what I was saying. You think this looks extended? This is not extended. This could go nuclear. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is not extended. It looks extended because it went up 100% in a couple weeks, but this is not extended. Now, for me, I would have to give this a lot more, wiggle room, right? Yeah, give it some sort of loose risk to reward, but okay. Constellation Energy. I was saying that this looked good as well, but I mean, shoot, man. Ugh. So many better things, and nuclear energy. So I think I did I do LM and nuclear. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did make a watch this for nuclear at some point. I knew I did. Uranium energy. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Super bullish move. This whole sector has got to be very bullish on. And this one has been a bummer. I really would have liked Lithium America Core to do well. All back here. I was following these guys for a while. They had a great team. I have no idea what's going on with them now. Are they they must be in serious trouble. But anyways, whatever. Fun deal. again, this is why you don't trade based upon an opinion. Not like I was in the stock as it's trending down, but if I still had a very strong opinion, like, hey, they've got a great team, this is going to be a great market in a couple years, which is all true things. I don't exactly know what happened to their team in here, but regardless, I'm super bullish on this company, and just downtrending. I would have been out of this for sure. This is below the 200-day moving average. You have no business being in it, all through here anyways. But yeah, that's why opinions are you don't trade based on opinions. Look, what the heck is going on? Wow, crazy. Yeah. All right, moving on. Yeah, what? This is insane. There's so much cool stuff to go after. SMR, DNN, nope. NLR, VanEck, uranium plus nuclear energy ETF. Well, this is probably the one you would want to go after if you own ETF other than nukes. Yeah, this would be a good one. Probably way more liquid than nukes, but not as cool of a name. Okay, that looks good. The Lou, how does the Lou look? Gave all-time highs back. That's never good. NNE, the only one sort of down on the day, but this looks fantastic actually. NNE. Okay. All right. Nuclear stocks going nuclear. Let's go back to my actionable watch list so I know what we're looking at. And let's go through Mag 7. Let's blast through gold and silver before. Gold's looking pretty good again. It's looking like a pretty good time to sort of get long. Doesn't fully meet my criteria just yet, but silver just keeps going on a tear. And, I missed all that, so whatever. Can't catch it all, that is for sure. Tesla up 4.5%. Now we're going to Mag 7 and we're calling it a day because, yeah, we got hockey on. Nvidia. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't meet my criteria for anything to go after. Google, very strong. Wow. Yeah, see, that was another thing we're going over on Friday, where this is extremely bullish. There's no way you could argue that this whole thing was not bullish. And today, nice, good sort of follow-through day. And, let's look at Meta and Amazon. Yeah, Meta looks like it wants to roll over here. That's surprising. Right around the $700. Is that? Gave it back. Yeah, shoot, this could pull way back and still be fantastic. Amazon, wow, yeah, see, Amazon, great day. Again, Friday, looking, dang, this thing looks pretty good. Right? Really good. Bullish move, consolidating, a VCP pattern, and a nice little continuation today. Let's look at Netflix. Whatever. Let's look at Palantir. I just yeah, man. This looks like it really wants to go. Just yuck. Let's look at industrials. Industrials sitting at all-time highs. Caterpillar looks fairly strong, sort of, kind of. Let's look at train. And let's go over some other sectors and call it a day. XLF, just whatever. We looked at KRE. We'll look at real estate. I don't know. Let's look at some bonds here. These just need these just need to not do anything extreme, you know? It'd be ideal for them to just kind of just chug along sideways, sort of move up. XBI, you know, yeah, XBI trending up. That's good to see. It's money moving out on the risk curve. That I don't know, don't care. Energy stocks, I don't know. Oil, I don't know. Oil, and let's look at copper. And, oh shoot, let's look at China while we're at it. Ooh, China looks, man, it's uptrending. Oh shoot, Germany. Yeah, Germany's grinding higher, making new all-time highs. Let's see how our friends and our buddies in Mexico are looking. Yeah, Mexico's an uptrend. Let's look at our Japanese brethren. I don't know. It's uptrending. Wow, that's actually a nice little sort of power move. And, you know, there's sort of a bunch of stuff going on this week with, here's Uber. Did I mess this trade up pretty bad with Uber? No. See, here's one where you think, you know, if you would have waited, right? Because I was going after this day and this day, you know, like this looks so good. Man, that was so good. That meets all my criteria, and then just blasted because of some news from Tesla. I don't think I would have been back to break even. I don't know. Who knows? It would have been pretty close with those call options. So did I mess this up? Maybe. This looks pretty good still. But, you know, Uber really gets blasted depending on news that comes out of Tesla. And I just don't even want to be involved in any of that. So, anyways, that's it. Yeah, I think I did screw this up. I totally screwed this up. But, anyways, we will catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, stay optimistic. It's great. Summer months coming up. I mean, come on. All right, later, guys.